Now, before anything even gets started in this video, make sure that you click off this video if you're not over the age of 18, or if you have a kid with you currently that is going to watch this video. I strongly suggest and advise you to click off this video, as this is a educational video and I don't want no modding in the comments below. In this video, I will share you my thoughts on what I think about sex and what it feels like and what it's all about, the meaning behind it, and some things that I value a lot. Sex is an amazing, or if I may say so, can be an amazing thing, and it doesn't always necessarily have to be an amazing thing. If it's done with the wrong person, it is horrible. Been there, done that, whatever. You learn from your mistakes. But it can also be something fantastic, in some cases with your partner, or with something that you really like. In some cases, it can also just be a form of lust. Now, I have had sex numerous amount of times in my life. Yes, I'm very honest and open about it. The last time I had any form of intercourse was about 2.5, 3 months ago, and I have paid for sex once before in my life. And that was not because I was desperate, before anyone thinks about that. It was because of the fact that I was curious, what is it like paying someone and getting a service? An escort, pretty much. A high-end escort I had booked. And I could say it was pretty dope, because at the end of the day, they're also people just like us with just a different job. My body count is 6. Do I personally find it a high body count? I find it, for the age compared to a lot of other people nowadays, relatively no. There are some people at the age of 12, 13, 14 already having sex, and my honest opinion about that is, please don't do that. 15, 16 in my opinion is way too young. It's very normal at that age, 15, 16, experimenting, hugging each other, maybe giving a kiss there and there. But for you to be at that age to already be doing that kind of stuff is, for me personally, I find it very scary. And it's not good, because at the age of 15, 16, you're not educated well enough on the subject of sex, what it is, what can happen if you do it unprotected. Because here's the thing with sex, right? And this is what a lot of people at the age of 15, 16 don't know, is that cleanliness is a very important thing. Me personally, I don't like it if someone's disgusting. If you don't smell good, if you haven't cleaned down there, then I ain't doing nothing. And in this case, I'm talking about a female. Now, having sex for the first time, what does that feel like? It is odd, it is strange. Everyone experiences it different. You experience it different if you're a female. You experience it different if you're a male. So it really just depends on your gender and how and where you've done it. In my case, when I had lost my virginity when I was 18, I had met this chick up, and the second time we just had sex. I'll be very honest and I'll admit something. I have never had sex with someone that I loved. Never. I don't know what it feels like loving someone. I don't know what it feels like being loved by someone. So yeah, that is definitely one thing that I guess you could say somewhat regret, but also something, it's a part of life. When I had lost my virginity, I was very disappointed in myself. And the reason why I was disappointed, because I had promised myself, and I always told myself this from a young age, if I do lose it, I want to lose my virginity to someone that I'm in a relationship with, or that I love or like. Yeah, that didn't happen. So afterwards, I was like, fuck. I kind of broke that rule for myself, but I gotta admit, yeah, it was actually quite nice. What does it feel like? I mean, again, that just depends on the person, because every vagina is different, right? Speaking from my point of view. In your case, it may be every penis or every butthole or whatever may be different. Whatever you're into, you do you. But for me, every vagina is unique in its own way. The most important thing for me is that there's mutual respect during sex. And also, if not the most important thing, is that you always use protection with someone that you do not know, regardless of what they say. If they say, oh, I'm clean, I don't have no STDs, or, this and that, I cannot get pregnant, don't just believe that. Always have a condom at least with you. I always carry at least a condom with me, or the morning after pill. Now, I'm pretty sure everyone is familiar with these bad boys. I fucking hate condoms, simply to put it like that. I don't like the feeling of condoms, and it doesn't matter if they're thick, thin, extra lubed, flavored. I just do not like the feeling of a condom. Everyone wants to know what it feels like to be inside someone. That's the whole point of sex. But unfortunately, a lot of people in this world, they don't clean themselves properly, or they jump from person to person to person, and they catch some weird ass diseases. Now, me personally, do I want an STD? Absolutely not. I don't want one. So, what do? In case I do not know anyone at all, I use a condom. A, I don't want to get an STD, and B, I don't want to get a chick pregnant. And that is like my biggest fear than an STD is getting a chick pregnant. And I know what you're probably thinking. Yeah, man, condoms, I don't do them. I do the pull-out game. Yeah, I've done that as well. Twice, 3 times. And let me just say it, but I use the pull-out method. Yeah, it ain't really as effective as you think it is because you just need a little bit of pre-cum to be in someone and bam, they can get pregnant. You don't even have to nut inside of a woman. She can get pregnant just because of your pre-cum. That's how it works and it's pretty fucking scary. I don't like to use the pull-out method. To be honest, I prefer just to use a condom or something way better. This is your last piece of thing that can help you to prevent a woman from getting pregnant, or if you don't want to get pregnant yourself. Because here's the thing about a condom. It protects you from STDs, but there's no guarantee that you won't get pregnant. Because it even says on the packaging, before you open it, 99.99%. There is a percent chance that you can get someone pregnant or you can get pregnant yourself. And that's the scary thing about condoms. But they are the most effective. So let's say you've had sex and you're like, oh, shit, we didn't use a condom. Or like, fuck it, we don't use a condom. Yeah, you see, that's what this thing is handy. And I don't want to hear nobody say, oh, bro, but it's $15. What, you want to spend $1,000 a year on baby food and shit instead of spending $15 on a thing that is very, very effective? Now, I've done the pull-out game a few times. And let me say, it is the most scary thing because I don't know about you, but I always piss my pants afterwards when I go back home. I'm like, damn, I really hope she don't get pregnant. It's always super scary when you get that text from that person you had sex with. It's really scary because in the next few days, in my situation, for instance, I did a pull-out a few months ago. I was pissing my fucking pants for like 4 or 5 days. I kept asking her, hey, this and that. I was like, oh, yes. She wasn't pregnant, which, thank God for that. If she would have been pregnant, hey, it would have been my fault, because I didn't use a condom. I was dumb. And that's the one thing I also want to explain. That 1 second of, oh man, I'm going to bust a fat load into her. It's cool, whatever. Don't do that. Just don't. Because that one bust that you do inside the chick can get you that text message saying, oh, I'm pregnant, you're the father. Like, that is the worst fucking feeling ever if you don't want to get a kid at all. Simple. Use a rubber. The only person you can get mad at that moment for nutting inside a chick is you and no one else. Now, obviously, I'd love to know what it's like having sex with someone that you love. Again, I've never had that feeling, and to be honest, I don't know if I'll ever be able to know what that feeling is like because here's the thing, I'm nearly 25. I've gone through that phase, that whole phase, if you can say, of 18, 19, 20, kissing, doing this and that. I am at a certain age that I'm like, I don't want to do it anymore. I want to get to know someone. Like, yeah, obviously, sex is always an amazing added bonus. It really is. But what I've noticed throughout the past year or so, that it's nicer getting to know someone instead of just having them for sex. Trust me, you will feel much better. It's either something that will happen naturally or it just simply won't happen. I'm 22. That means I eventually want to settle down. I would love to settle down before 25. I really would. But here's also the thing. I'm not actively looking for a relationship. I'm not actively going to public places and look for women that I'm like, yeah, I want to have sex or do this. It's either something that happens or it simply just doesn't happen. Stuff like that you cannot rush and you as well just cannot force it. It doesn't work like that. And for some people, sex is a very, 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 very unique thing. And I think it is. It really is because some people look at it like, oh, it's not really that much or this and that, or it's nothing. But it is because at the end of the day, you're two individuals exposing each other in front of each other. And the biggest thing is with sex is trust. That's something that I value the most is trust. That you can trust each other. That they're both not lying about their past or present, you know, because here's the truth. Nobody wants to have sex with a liar and find out, oh, they got an STD or, you know, this and that. Nobody wants that. That is the worst thing. Luckily, I've never had to go through such a situation, but there are some situations that people go through that when they have sex with someone and they can't trust them afterwards. And that is, in my opinion, very disappointing because trust is the biggest thing during sex. Anyways, I hope I was able to educate you somewhat more, and I also hope I was able to share my story. Yeah, it's been a while since I had sex. 3 months, is it long? Yeah, but you know what? I got the good old lefty here, does tricks. You know, it is what it is. You know, again, I'm at the age that I just simply don't really care about it. You know, for me, it's more valuable and important to meet and get to know someone. And it doesn't always have to be sex. And that's the thing that some people are surprised of. I have a very good friend of mine. I haven't known her for very long, like a few months. The thing is with me and her, we're very good friends, but we've both discussed that we don't want no intimacy with each other. And I told her that from the start straight up, like, I don't need to or have the feeling of wanting to be intimate with you. It's not because I don't feel attracted to you. It's just I feel like there's more than just potential sex. I want to like get to know you and be actual friends with you. And sometimes that's more valuable than sex itself. But you know, at the end of the day, that is up to you and that person, or that is maybe even up to you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully you learned something.